First time at Tribal Council, grab a torch, dip it in the flame, and get fire. Yeah. This is part of the ritual of Tribal Council because in this game, fire represents your life. And when your fire's gone, so are you. Brando, you're nodding. When you hear those words, do they sound different when it's you sitting on that stool?
You know, as a player, you never want to be here, but as a self-proclaimed super fan, when I hear you saying those words and when I'm looking at the, beautiful ambiance of Tribal Council, it's really hard not to be in awe.
Austin, what is that? Because I hear it a lot, and I do get it. It's the thrill of playing Survivor, but this ambiance, this fire that can be romantic and kind of cool, is death until somebody is crowned a winner.
Every cycle, it ends right here. This is the ultimate moment where everyone puts their pen to the paper and decides what exactly happened.
And Emily, does having been to Tribal Council give you a leg up, just generally speaking?
And to some extent, I think I'm calloused from it. And heading into the ringer again, you've mentally prepared yourself for the battering cage that is Tribal Council. But I'll tell you at this point, Jeff, I'm over it. Clearly, I'm on Tribes. I might be the problem, where I keep losing.
Brando, let's go back to the switch. Part of the design of the new era is to constantly make you check and assess and adapt all the time. So when you see a tribe swap, and how do you handle that?
It was heartbreaking to know that I wouldn't be with that many of my old Bello members, but I think New Bello is honestly where the focus of everybody else was pointed, and we're the only tribe that has relationships that span to everyone else in the game. And I think having those relationships and having that experience with old Bello, for example, is something that makes me pretty valuable.
Drew, that's a pitch.
Yeah, it definitely is, Jeff. If somebody's very well connected, that could be useful for me as a guy trying to make my way through a very complicated merge, but it also could be threatening because they're so established that I have no room going forward with them.
It does also mean that I have knowledge of the cracks. It's having that knowledge of those relationships that I think is valuable, not just that they exist.
Kendra, the other obviously tricky part about Tribal is sometimes players send a message with what they're saying, sometimes they're distracting with what they say. You don't know until you get to the very end and all the secrets are revealed.
I hate it. I'm a pretty independent person. I don't often trust people that heavily in my own life. So where my fire, my life, my passion in this game relies on people here who I've had conversations with is absolutely terrifying to me.
Drew, when you hear somebody tell you something that's very vulnerable, does that change how you would treat Kendra, or could you still lie to Kendra because this is not our real life? We come here to play a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I came into this tribe not expecting to get along with Kendra, and we kind of bonded over being open about who we were. And so that level of personal investment kind of steeps the decision I've got to make today, because I'm not betraying a chess piece, I'm betraying a real person who I have had a tremendous unexpected bond with. And that is a tough thing to do, and it's not something that I'm accustomed to doing in my real life either.
Emily, how about for you? When you hear that, any impact on you? Why do you laugh when I ask you?
Because I hate to be the contrarian, but I of course am. And, we come into this game acknowledging the fact that we're going to get to know people for the genuine people that they are and then backstab them. In the game of Survivor, it's about survival.
So, Austin, are we past the part of tribe strength? Have you already started shifting into relationships when we merge?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we know that there's cracks both in original Bello and original Reba, and what we have to do is figure out what group we can move forward into the merge with that's gonna work with us not just for one vote or two vote, but for the long haul. And that's ultimately what my vote is coming down to.